Robert Parks here. I mentioned in my very first video on the channel that I was editing video using a 6-year-old base model MacBook Pro. I tend to get a good amount of life out of any computer purchase that I make, and then when I'm finally done with it, I'll likely hand it off to someone else. The last time I bought a desktop computer for personal use was all the way back in 2009. And perhaps curiously, given my occupation, I haven't bought a computer with the intention of running Microsoft Windows at home in nearly 2 decades. Well, as is probably obvious by now, I've gone out and bought myself a Windows desktop computer, and not just any computer. I'm familiar with the HP Z series workstations generally. In the healthcare IT setting in which I work, our radiologists use the HP Z600 series workstations together with FDA certified clinical monitors to provide their professional services. Now, when buying a computer or anything else, we tend to apply our own particular values to it, whether we're conscious of it or not. Some people want to build a colossal gaming rig, for example, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've always preferred small computers, then laptops, tiny desktops, etc. So when I received an ad for the HP Z2 Mini G3 workstation, I wondered where it had been my whole life. I clicked through and spec'd out a custom configuration out of curiosity. With $741.91 in discounts, I couldn't resist despite the final price tag. HP, you got me. Before we go any further, I'd like to say something about getting the most value for your money. This applies to a custom configuration for many of the mainstream manufacturers, HP, Dell, Lenovo, etc. At HP's online store, you can get the Z2 Mini G3 for as low as $699 or as high as $2,500 to $3,500 if you select the maximum RAM, the fastest processor, and the most SSD storage. I came in halfway between the low and high and was very deliberate about the choices that I made. For instance, it could be difficult or impossible to upgrade the video card in a highly integrated system like this after the fact. So I want to pay for the NVIDIA Quadro M620 up front. Same with my CPU selection. If I want a Xeon, I should buy it now. On the flip side, PC makers almost always charge more for RAM and storage than you can buy it after the fact from companies like Kingston and Samsung. So I went with what I considered the minimum usable RAM on a desktop computer, 16 gigabytes, and may choose to upgrade it later. I also went with an affordable 256 gig PCIe SSD, leaving an open slot for an additional 2.5-inch SATA drive of my choosing. Let's unbox it and then we'll talk about what I got. So just what did I get for my money? We've got the HP Z2 Mini G3 Performance Workstation with discrete NVIDIA Quadro M620 graphics, an Intel Xeon 3.3 GHz processor, 256 gig HP Turbo Z PCIe SSD, 16 gig of RAM, an Intel dual band wireless with 802.11 AC and Bluetooth 4.2, a serial port adapter, optical USB mouse and keyboard, Windows 10 Pro 64-bit, a 3 years parts and labor on-site warranty, and I added HP's Z27S 27-inch 4K display. My total with $741.91 in online discounts was $2,271.73. So there's no question that the HP Z2 Mini G3 is a significant investment. If I keep it for the same 6 years that I kept my MacBook, it'll still cost me just over $1 a day. And let's not lose sight of the fact that there are people living in this world on less than $1 a day. But for those of us who want a blazing fast workstation with 4K capability, and for whom a couple of $1,000 feels like a fair price, the HP Z2 Mini G3 seems like a pretty great system. I hope that this is my last video on buying things for a while, and that I'll try to cover a few on actually doing things on this platform. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, or share if you're feeling generous, and have a great day.